Screaming.
And we're there. Well, sort of. What the
So,
Excuse me. Okay. All right. Welcome. Jake is on. He's getting on. Your text
I've been here
message.
the whole time. Don't call it a comeback. I've
Don't
been
call
here
it a
for
comeback.
years.
Son of a bitch. All right. All right. Well,
There we
Morbius.
are. We are on now. I see us.
All right. I'll let you do that because I'm on 9% battery life.
We're on the interweb. They make this thing, it's called a charger.
Oh, I have one, and I'm going to plug it up right now.
It's all right. Apologize in advance if there's a little bit more background noise. I'm dog sitting, and
Oh
they
yeah,
they like to randomly start wrestling.
that's okay.
Oh, I know,
At
it's
least they're
fine. It's
buddies.
just loud. Yeah, it's two pit bulls, so
Oh
it's quite funny.
yeah, the most vicious dogs ever. But yeah, they'll
Yeah.
lick you to
Oh,
death.
yeah. They're vicious. Let me tell you. It sounds bad sometimes, but
Super vicious. All right, so Morbius,
I've told a few
solid
people that I
movie.
like. I told a few people that I liked it, and they're like, "Really?"
Yeah, but the thing is though, do you ask them have they seen it? And then most of them go, well, no.
No, no, no. They're shocked that I liked it
Oh yeah, because you're
because
such a fucking critic.
apparently I have a reputation.
You pissed off people
Oh
off with
shit.
Batman. What? Are we online?
No, I got a message from Brian Kaufman.
For anyone curious about that, our good friend Benji, Ben the referee, apparently has been in the hospital for a week, and we don't know why, and we've been trying to figure out what's going on. So,
And I literally just got a message from somebody.
was it an explanation?
I just asked for one.
Okay.
I asked if he knew what was going on. So
Obviously, we're not going to disclose that on
I will
there.
share with you off air if
Right.
I get a. But anyway, um, although I will say, just based on his message, I'm assuming it's not
Good.
life threatening
Oh, okay.
because he referenced because of the podcast, and I'm like, well, if he was in seriously bad straits, I don't think anyone would be
I wonder
thinking
if
about.
he.
I know I wouldn't be.
I wonder if it's a appendix and it ruptured because he would be in there for a few days afterwards. I was only in there for a couple hours because mine didn't rupture. Still scary though. Surgery is scary.
Yep, 100%. But anyway,
Morbius.
Morbius. It was marvelous.
It was a marvelous non-Marvel movie. Get that through your head, people. This was not a Marvel
It's
movie.
well, it's a Marvel movie, but it's not an MCU movie. It's a technically speaking, it's a Sony Spider-Man
Technically
SSM.
speaking, it's a Columbia movie.
Well, no, no, no. Here's the thing. I was doing some not research, but just some there like that universe, and it's the same as the
Venom universe.
yeah the same as the Venom universe, but
We are Venom. That was good.
the official name is I believe it's the Sony Spider-Man movie universe. SSMU. That's what I'm going with.
Spoiler warning alert if you're watching. Just FYI, we will talk about details. Just saying. Alright.
So I'm reading.
You're fine, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm getting some information.
I'm just pulling up the chat. So, I will disclose, and Jake was there. There was one point in that movie that scared the literal shit out of me. I jumped very high.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? So here's a funny thing about that. This won't
Fucking
shock
jump
you,
scare.
but
That's all it was.
dude, I'm a jumper. I fucking hate those things. They get me every time. So what I do is when I know one's coming because they're predictable as shit now,
This
I
one
just close
wasn't.
my eyes. Yeah, it was. I
Was it?
saw it coming a mile away. You can always tell by the music.
Dun,
I literally, dude, I'm sitting in the theater.
Bang!
I closed my eyes, and then I like felt/heard you jump, and I'm like, haha, suckers.
You closed your eyes.
I did.
Oh, I
Oh,
did
dude,
it.
because
All
anytime,
hand on the face, and I was like,
yeah,
just like that.
even when I know they're coming, they still get me. So I just
Fucking, that pissed me off. Oh man.
But yeah, so I didn't think it was going to be a bad movie, but I was.
Oh, I went
thought
into it with a negative attitude.
I wouldn't say I was negative. I would say I was indifferent.
I knew Jared Leto was going to be good regardless. Because, I mean, let's face it, the dude's a good actor.
He knocked it out of the park.
And just the way they did his physical self. Wow. I don't know if it was... it had to have been CGI'd. Like... But
The Morbius stuff?
Yeah. Well, not the Morbius stuff, but like his ailment, like where he was super skinny.
Oh, where he was super. I don't know, man. Jared Leto can get because he did that for Dallas Buyers Club.
He got super. If he did, he got super skinny.
He did. He did that in Dallas Buyers Club too.
Like he looked like Master Roshi at one point. Where
after the.
Huh? Did you guys start? Yeah. Morbius.
Oh. Where are the dogs? It's too quiet in here.
Who let the dogs out?
Dogs!
Time to kill one up.
No, dude, this is bad. I need to step away for a second.
You're fine.
The silence is not good. What are you doing?
Oh, while Jake is tending to his puppies.
You're fine.
He's dog sitting. Time to start the podcast.
Today we're going to be discussing Morbius. Morbius wasn't bad as we thought it would be. Oh! We always do it at the same time.
We were on point there.
We do. We always do it at the same time.
So, start at the beginning of the movie.
How do we want to do this? Because our reviews are usually all over the place.
Let's just try to.
Let's try to
start beginning to end.
But yeah, let's try. So, spoiler alert. You can't really spoil Morbius though, because and I'm not saying this as it was a super bad thing, but I wouldn't even call it a complaint, but the only thing I noticed was as a movie, it's very on the nose. There aren't really any surprises per se, but it's still a fun movie.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. There were no surprises. You got what you expected.
It's like, I mean, you know exactly what's coming, but you still want to see it because it's awesome.
Exactly. So the one thing I actually had a complaint about, and it didn't make any sense, was when in the very beginning, when he is at wherever that remote location, and he's getting off the helicopter, and he goes up and cuts his hand. I was like, he's not mutated yet. So why didn't those bats attack him?
Because they're vampire bats.
Yeah, but he cut his hand and had the blood come in,
as bait, I guess. I don't know.
That made no sense.
That's what we call we need a cool looking shot, so we're gonna do this. But yeah, I don't.
The question is though, was that like a future thing, and he was fine, and then he was pretending like he's because now, I'm trying to jump ahead.
Well, no, I can answer that question. He was catching the bats for his lab.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So what did? Yeah, and he had that thing, whatever it was, those bars. That makes sense. But the thing is, all the bats surrounded the helicopter.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a like, okay, we need a cool looking shot with bats.
Yeah.
And for the record, if you're in the theater watching this movie and you want to make people laugh, just say Batman lines through half of the movie and it's appropriate.
I'm Batman. Oh, dude, when you said I'm vengeance, I lost it.
Oh, there were a couple of really solid jokes made during this movie.
But the thing is, though, even though our few little complaints, it
And
was a super solid movie.
yeah,
And
like the complaints are really little. And I'm just going to drop a seed for those of you just now joining us on the podcast. Batman is in this movie. I mean, I'm not being funny. Like an actual Batman is actually in this movie. I'm not making a vampire joke. Batman is in this movie.
oh, Batman.
Kind of looks like a vulture, but it's Batman.
Oh, okay. He's only in it for a little bit.
Doesn't matter. He's in it.
Yeah. So basically, after that weird scene, and then they skipped. Did they skip to him as
Then
kids?
they went. Yeah, then they
Yeah.
went into the origin story, which I kind of liked.
Yeah, they did a very good job of that, and then having a an adult they cared for that looked out for them and whatnot, and then of course he wasn't in the movie for very long, like very much.
He was
He
he
was in it for
was
a little bit, but
he was in it enough.
yeah, but they didn't like. I don't know. They
The
didn't make it to where he was a big loss because he wasn't
Yeah, he
in it
wasn't
enough for it to
vitally
be a huge
important.
loss. Even though he was, because he was with them for a very long time. But anyway, I can't remember his name.
The beginning of the movie had very little wasted motion. It was well paced. We stuck around as long as we needed to, but we didn't stick around too long. That's really the only other complaint I have about the movie is there are parts of it that seem unnecessary to the story, but still cool visually. So it's not that big of a deal. Like for example, I don't really think that I'm skipping ahead a bit here, but I don't think Morbius needed to actually go to prison. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
And I understood what they were trying to do with the blood. They were trying to create like a ticking clock, but you never really felt that there was a ticking clock because at any point he could just waste somebody.
yeah. And he's a scientist first and foremost of blood diseases. So you would think he would be able to just be like, okay, all right, this is my problem. I've got to work it. No. you
Well,
would think he would try to figure it out, but I mean, he had the artificial blood, but obviously it wasn't working. It's like, okay, tweak the artificial blood, figure it out.
I think that's like they were kind of setting.
They're probably setting it up for something new.
Yeah, because I actually like that aspect of the story, the fact that he created artificial blood, and I'm like, whoa, how cool would that be?
Yeah, right.
You know, how awesome would that? It's not artificial blood, but we've been able to isolate plasma, which is phenomenal, but it's not artificial blood.
No, he created fucking artificial blood, and it's blue.
Yeah, yeah.
You're my boy, Blue.
Which is really just a. And I would have done it. It's just a way to where a viewer can easily tell the difference between the artificial blood and the real blood.
That's real blood.
That's real blood, man.
I wiped out at the skate park today, man. Oh, yeah, anywho.
So we get to adult Morbius, and I dig his character as Michael Morbius more than the vampire, which is good because
Yeah, he's kind of a smart ass. He's brilliant.
well, but he would be a smart ass though because he's fucking brilliant.
And on top of that, he has basically a crippling disease. So therefore, he's not able to walk, and he doesn't really have like physical like intimidation. So therefore, he's got to use his mind for wit.
But he's smart as shit. And speaking of wit, I liked his banter with Milo because I
swear to God, I thought he said "my love," and he said
no,
Milo. And I was like, "My love, my precious."
Frodo! Oh man, but yeah, so shit. I liked that banter a lot because not only was it funny, in a matter of seconds, you got the chemistry of the actors and you got the sense that they've been through a lot over a long period of time. And these two know each other better than anybody, really, because they have that. It's funny because there are many scenes where they can each of them can tell what the other is thinking. Because like when he's asking him about the boat, he's like, "It's going to be expensive, isn't it?" You know, he's like, "Yeah."
um, I did. I'm not sure exactly how I feel, but when they transformed into the super vampire, whatever they were, the mutated vampires or whatever, they were. I wasn't a huge fan of the voices. I felt like they were too high pitched. I feel like they should have been a little deeper. But the thing is, if you think about it, that their throats get smaller and they get like all crazy looking. So I was like, technically, if you think about it, vocal
Vocal
cords.
cord, yeah, vocal cords.
That you would think that they're smaller and whatnot. So of course, what's going to happen? They're going to produce a higher pitched sound, and bats screech. So they're
Yep.
actually high pitched animals.
It
Anyway,
it
so
was it was more of a screech, or it was more of a scream than a roar, which is appropriate.
yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, like, I I wanted a roar instead of like a like when fucking
He hissed.
Bilbo Baggins, tries to get the
Ah!
root the ring back from fucking
It was a little bit more reminiscent. It was a little bit more reminiscent. Let me see your war face. Ah!
that was probably the funniest part of the Lord of the Rings. Except for the salty pork line. Did you say salty pork?
Salted pork. I
uh,
love that. There's a thing going around TikTok now of John Rhys Davies talking about how much he hated Lord of the Rings, like the books. And they're like, "So why'd you do the project?" And he's like, "Money."
why? How would you hate it? And he was such a loved character.
I don't know. I mean,
Remember? Ah! You look
I
like
mean,
little Nicky right there.
it's out.
Oh my gosh. Can we ever just stick to topic?
No. Let's face it. By now, you know what the fuck you're getting. You know what's up.
You know. I can't stop yawning.
Frodo!
I can't stop yawning.
I know we were up late last night, Pumpkin.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
It was late.
It was
What time
late.
did that movie let out? Like 11:30ish?
Like
11:40?
almost midnight.
It was close.
Yeah, it was really close. And then 45-minute hour drive. It wasn't an hour, but yeah, actually, yeah, it was about 45.
Well, no, I mean the movie let out about 11:30, quarter to midnight.
Right.
Anywho, so yeah, then we fast forward to adult Morbius, like his bedside manner. We have the obvious love interest
Oh yeah, his nurse.
at the beginning. Kind of bummed we didn't find out what happened to that kid. The kid they had to put into a coma. The little girl.
I think second Morbius will probably.
Probably.
And
She'll become.
I'm telling you what, like if people beat this thing into submission and they don't make another one, they're dumb because they're just missing out on money.
Well, they've
By
already
listening.
planted. Well, okay, so I'm a little confused by the like the online conversation behind it, because everybody's like, I even saw that meme where it's got Goku and Vegeta, and it's like, let's go
I
somewhere
saw you
secluded.
commented.
I'm like, the theater wasn't empty.
No, far from it.
Like, the movie's made what, 40 mil in its opening weekend,
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it probably
which
only
isn't.
cost like 100.
Oh, it probably costs a couple hundred mil, but I mean, like, it's not fantastic, but it's not bad.
I think a lot of people didn't like the streamers, the streamers off of him when he was moving, and I'm like, do you guys understand what that is? I was like, those are sound waves.
You know,
I
I
thought at
can.
first he was teleporting, but he wasn't. It was just it was how he moves and the sound waves because he's he's got bat DNA. He's a real Batman with powers.
Man bat.
Man bat.
There is an actual man bat.
I know. Just like there's a man
Yeah.
spider.
Yes, there is.
Which I don't understand why any of the movies haven't fucking covered that. I digress. This is Morbius.
Maybe the next Spider-Man multiverse movie.
Yeah, because like all these guys have like such perfect fucking DNA that they don't have any issues with turning into a fucking man spider. I want man spider.
That's why I love the joke in Family Guy so much when Adam West is like, I'm going to become a mutant too. And he rolls in the toxic waste. He's like, you have cancer.
You have lymphoma.
Oh, shucks.
That was hilarious.
So funny.
I like Adam.
Love Adam West. Mayor Adam West, specifically.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of his Batman. Didn't hate it.
You know,
Bam!
it would
Wham!
be... Zap!
It was good for the time. I guarantee people loved it. And they still did.
I don't know if it was good for the time, but...
Yeah, it was.
It can't be bad as George Reeves' fucking tidy whities. Tidy reddies.
He's like planking on a fucking chair to look like he's flying.
The thing that I love most about the George Reeves Superman is the fact that he was adamant about not being put on any like wires. That's why whenever he enters a room through a window, he's like jumps feet first in. Because he refused to be put on wires, so he literally just jumps through the window feet first. And that's why he's always like...
Might as well be Batman with a cape. Well, I mean, Batman had a cape. Oh, shit. Adult Morbius. Let's get back.
Well, yeah, I mean, but then that essentially... Like I said, in the beginning of the movie, there's not a lot of wasted motion. They set you up pretty neatly from the beginning. You know he's got to get a ship to do an experiment because he finally gets a chimera mixture that works and doesn't... Well, it does kill the mouse, but then the mouse reanimates, and that should have been a red flag.
Well, let's notice that because they didn't show Leto reanimate. Like, he didn't show him die. And I thought that's how it was going to go. I thought he was going to die, and and he's going to come back like, I'm fine, bitch, and I'm strong. No.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was good. But the thing is, though, we didn't see the I am Venom from the ads because it was more of a joking manner. This was like a fucking serious, like, I am Venom.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you're not, bitch.
Which really doesn't make sense if he's not making a joke.
I feel like Morbius is stronger than Venom. From this movie, with how he was like fighting and whatnot, and like how they were hitting, I was like, dude, he seemed stronger than Venom. I was like, maybe not stronger, but like par.
Well, because they made Venom funny.
Yeah. Oh, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Venom. I
enjoyed it, but it will be problematic for future installments.
Well, it's also world of Venoms, world of symbiotes versus the symbiote that came from space. Like, I mean, sure. I know it came from space. You know what I'm talking about, the difference.
What is it? That is a red one.
Holy shit! That's a red one.
I promise if you come back out, you can eat everyone.
Really? Fuck yeah! I think he said fuck yeah, but he's like, hell yeah.
I think he did say fuck yeah. But so anyway, spoiler alert. Morbius injects himself, or Dr. Morbius, excuse me, injects himself with the mixture, the cocktail of gene therapies, and
turns
dude, that was sick.
Into a monster.
That was sick when they injected it into his spine.
Oh god, dude!
I was just both of us
dude, there was several times we cringed.
I mean, visually the movie looks really, really good. I didn't love or hate the streamers when Morbius was flying. I understood what they were trying to do. I don't think it was super effective, but they had to do something. They couldn't just have him just
what do you think they
levitate.
Were?
Oh, I have no idea what they were.
I am going to step on a limb and say it was just visually showing the sound waves and him moving through the sound, because the thing is he was
that makes
moving
sense.
he was moving so fast, and he was moving fast. He was quick.
Well, and that's because when you first set it on the boat, they're like, "Is he teleporting?" I'm like, "I think he's just moving really fast."
Because he was like.
He's booking it for sure.
And the thing is, it kind of when he was doing it, it kind of reminded me of Night Stalker.
Nightcrawler.
Night Stalker, Nightcrawler. How he poofs into fucking smoke and then there, but obviously he's not really actually teleporting. It's like a different kind of teleport. I think you know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know.
But yeah, like I thought it was teleporting.
Hold
but
on.
bitch was
Time
going
out.
fast. What's up?
Time out. It's a nerd moment here. So
Oh, shit.
some people don't know this, but well, I'm not going to say it's every version of Nightcrawler, but at least the ones that I've been exposed to. So Nightcrawler's power is really interesting. So he doesn't just disappear. It's not actually hell, but it's another dimension that might as well be hell. But he's only there for split seconds. And that's how he disappears in this dimension, appears there, and then disappears there, and then appears where he wants to be in this dimension. But I want to say it was X-Men Evolution, which is a very underrated series. But they do an experiment where they give him this bracelet or this collar or something where he can prolong his time spent in the other dimension so they can like figure it out. Yeah. And it's like he goes straight to hell. Like, it's really interesting.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Oh, X-Men Evolution's phenomenal. However,
It was an anime, right?
Animated, yeah. I want to say it's on Disney Plus now.
I gave up on certain animated series and whatnot, not because I didn't like them or want to. It's like I stopped watching them for some reason.
X-Men Evolution is on Disney Plus if you have it, and if not, I can hook you up with it.
I'm going to check it out.
It's a really good series. Very underrated. I think when it came out, it follows a really linear storyline. It's not like a Monster of the Week show, which a lot of kids shows were at that time. So I don't think it was as popular with younger kids, which is why. But it was on for 4 seasons.
A lot of older nerds.
Yeah, for real. And I mean, the show gets pretty dark at times, so it's really good, and the animation is really
I would rather
top-notch.
have that. Like it's like just because we're adults doesn't mean we don't want animated shit.
Oh, no. So legit, like Young Justice is one of the best animated series ever made, but they canceled it after 2 seasons because a toy manufacturer was the main sponsor, and they weren't selling toys because the only people that were watching the show were older nerds who loved it because it's fucking phenomenal.
And it's like, you're going to have viewership, you idiots. You're just
not so what toys. What they ended up doing, and I was part of the crusade, it was on whatever DC, I want to say it was Cartoon Network, DC Nation. It was on there along with Green Lantern, the animated series, which again, I really liked. But it got canceled after 2 seasons too. And then they killed Teen Titans. Oh, I'm sorry. They killed Teen Titans first. They replaced Young Justice with Teen Titans Go, which is an abomination.
I've heard.
It's fucking terrible.
A lot of people love Teen Titans. I never watched
it. I liked Teen Titans. Teen Titans Go was a piece of shit. Because they basically they took a cartoon that was good, dark, solid storytelling and made it fucking stupid.
They were hopped up on the sauce.
Well, I think they were just trying to get more kids to watch cartoons instead of YouTube.
Kind of what they're doing with Super. Except they took a turn. I'm sorry.
Not quite to that degree.
They said that they because of the brighter stuff, and which actually, if you notice, there's no blood or gore in Super.
Huh.
Think about it. When he cut Zamasu in half, he wasn't bleeding blood. He was bleeding like blue goo. And Piccolo's blood was red at the beginning of Z, and then ended up turning purple.
Huh.
Whereas everyone else bled red.
Huh. Well, I didn't even notice.
The fuck?
But yeah, now that you mention it, you're right.
Yeah, because they're trying to gear it towards children. And I'm like, dude, there's enough of us out there. You don't have to do that. We're fine. We will watch your show.
Well, and not only that, like, I mean, it didn't hurt with Dragon Ball or Z
Oh my god, no.
or GT
Well, that was
or
also the 90s.
yeah, back before we got super soft.
Soft. Soft is a
But
hot. I don't know.
the English localizers did some interesting things though, because you recall in the Pioneer dub, or I guess it's the Ocean dub, technically,
Waves
but
and rocks.
waves and rock. But at the beginning, it wasn't killing people; it was sending them to the next dimension.
Yeah, I remember HFIL.
Oh, that's just funny. they rip that apart in DBZ Abridged. It's like, I'm back in Hiffle.
All right, listen. If we have nothing to talk about next week, we're doing DBZ podcast.
You got to get Sosa though.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll see what he's doing.
This is assuming that Will Smith doesn't smack anybody, and then we still have to watch.
He retired from the academy.
He resigned. I don't know if he retired, but
that's what. Well, and the thing is, I'm just like, okay, he's just getting out ahead of this dumpster fire.
No. This is exactly what happened. The academy is like, hey, Will, we need you to resign, and if you don't resign, we're gonna kick you out.
All right, dude.
That's usually what resignations actually mean. It's like,
I mean, he's older anyway, so it's like he's not. I mean, how many more movies does he have in him?
Oh, quite a few. I mean, look at Patrick Stewart.
I know. And I'll still watch his movies, just saying.
It's like, I'm old as fuck, number one. I have a television series, too.
That's what people don't understand. I don't care what these actors do personally. If they make
as long as I don't know about it.
I don't even care if I know about it. If they make a good movie, I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to go watch Top Gun Maverick like a motherfucker, and I think Tom Cruise is a terrible human being.
Yeah. Scientology has done him well. He looks young.
But Pete fucking Mitchell is a badass. That movie does look fucking awesome, though. It looks like they've done some kick-ass aerial shots, because I don't think that shit's CG.
So basically,
and if it is,
what we're saying is that Morbius was a very solid film. We don't have really a bunch of negative to say about it, so we're just filling in filler.
Yeah, we're like Dragon Ball.
This is usually what happens when we have nothing negative to say. If we have something
here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Because like I didn't let Mortal Kombat go. I was
you didn't let Mortal Kombat go. You didn't let Batman go. So it's like for you to actually say that Morbius was a solid film, that's really like saying something.
Yeah, it's quite good.
I think you have a man crush on Leto.
A little bit.
He's a handsome fella.
I mean, him and Dallas Buyers Club. I mean, I would have bought that was a chick, an ugly chick, but a chick.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you should. It's really, really good. So anyway, though, Morbius.
Morbius was great. The movie. Well,
he gets powers. So there is one thing now that I'm thinking of it, which again, this isn't a huge negative thing, but it is something that I'm kind of like, really, bro? So he's all worried that he's becoming like a bad person and a monster, right? He didn't kill, oh God, what was her name?
He didn't kill the nurse.
The doctor.
The doctor with 4 kids.
Oh, he didn't kill the nurse either.
Was single or 2 kids.
No, his love interest.
Oh, does she have kids?
No. You're talking about the nurse, but
okay.
He did not like on the boat. He killed everyone but her. And I don't know, like
the guy knocked her out and actually gave her the contusion.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. He looked at her because he was thinking about it.
But he recognized.
But my whole shtick is though, like if I'm worried that I become a homicidal maniac, I'd be like, well, I didn't kill her on the boat.
Maybe I can control this a little bit.
Or at least there's a part of me that gets retained, and even though I might not consciously remember, there's a. And the other thing, too, is I guess he doesn't remember killing those guys because he watched the footage.
Yeah, it's not like the lizard brain it is like the lizard brain in the lizard from Spider-Man.
Yeah, but Dr. Connors remembers.
Well, he eventually comes to
Oh,
remember.
that's true. That's true.
At first, since I mean, Morbius is new, so and then now he can transform in between in and out of that form for more strength. Because when he requires more strength, he becomes a fucking he becomes transformed Zarbon. You made me transform into this hideous beast just to beat you, Vegeta.
10 times funnier in DBZ abridged.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Lord Frieza, can you wrap the Sonko up? I need to call my girlfriend. Uh, Ginyu, I'll call you back. Gonna call who now?
I need to binge it. I need to binge all of
You
it.
do. I mean, you can realistically binge it all in a few hours.
Seriously?
Well, yeah, the episodes are only like 10 to 15 minutes long.
Oh.
And there's only 60. Well, there's probably like 70 with all the different parts because there's like episode 60 parts 1, 2, and 3. But
That's not bad.
and then if you add the movies, which you don't have to, but the movies are some of the most golden parts. You will now henceforth refer to him as Princess Trunks.
All right, so let's just talk about a minute for the critics. What the fuck?
What the fuck is wrong with you people?
What is and and the funny thing is, a lot of people are saying like, just watch it. Don't believe the critics. And I've always said that before too. Like, I sold cleaner door to door, right? And this guy got on the Better Business Bureau or something like that, or a review site, and we had one negative review. And the guy was like, "Well, I don't know. I saw that negative review." Da, 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 da. And I literally just like, being the salesman I am, I was just like, "Sir," I said, "are you gonna believe what someone says about a movie, or are you gonna go watch it yourself and figure it out for yourself?" I said, "You are your own person, right?" And
brutal.
And then he's
It
just
works.
like, "Well, hold on, it didn't work at first." And he's just like, "Oh, I still want to buy." And I was like, "All right." I said, "I'm not gonna fight you on that." The motherfucker chased me down in the neighborhood and bought even more from me, and I was like, "See."
Because you walked away. You weren't desperate.
Exactly.
But here's, and like this is the honest to God truth. If I'm looking up reviews for a place and there's not at least 1 or 2 negative reviews, then I don't trust it because there's assholes everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's got a bad day or sometimes people on staff just rub people the wrong way, or a customer rubs somebody who's otherwise usually really good, just rubs them the wrong way. So there's going to be somebody out there that has something negative to say. But I'll tell you why critics didn't like this movie. It's because there was no blatant racism. There was no social cause that was championed. Like, there wasn't anything woke about it. There was no crusade.
But yet, and this doesn't include you, but that's also why they were hating on the Batman. Because it wasn't woke enough for them. There was some woke ideas and a few jabs, but it wasn't even. This one had nothing whatsoever.
Yeah, this one had.
I didn't notice anything.
This one was just good old fashioned, good versus evil, a moral man versus an immoral man. Mm-hmm. It's a tale as old as time.
And the greatest.
You have.
No. Go
oh,
ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say, and this is not a dig. It's a simple story. You have a man who was weak, who was given power, and he has a choice to make, and he chooses to go one way. And then another man who was weak is given power, chooses to go another way.
Which actually, Morbius, I'm not sure about in the comics, but at least in the '94 Spider-Man series, he wasn't necessarily a villain. But if it came between what he wanted, he was going to kill you. Because remember, he also had those things on his hands.
Yep.
He didn't have things on his hands this time.
Yeah. And I think they hinted that in the post-credits scene, because I think he's going to be a reluctant villain in his next appearance, but it'll turn around. Like, he'll end up teaming up with Spider. I'd be shocked if he didn't end up teaming up with Spider-Man, but I'm intrigued.
Well, I mean, it's like, what Spider-Man universe are they going to be involved in? Because Tom Holland has said that he's taking a break.
Yeah, but taking a break doesn't mean he's not doing
Well, he's
anything.
saying he's want to take a break to start a family, and I'm like, so you are with Zendaya or Zendaya or whatever her name is.
Yeah, good luck, Tom. I'm willing to bet that you know what? I think Disney made him say that shit so that
You
he
know
won't do
what? You're
interviews.
fucking right. You're fucking right. So he doesn't give anything
He's
away.
like, "Hey Tom, we're gonna need you to tell the
That's
press that you're gonna."
brilliant.
I know.
I didn't even think about that. That's fucking brilliant. You know, because that motherfucker is always giving away details. Um,
Well, so I have a theory about the Spider-Man multiverse, the next movie.
I can't fucking wait.
So, but here's my theory. So I think that they are using the Into the Spider-Verse movies to test concepts.
Oh, because they can get away with it in animation, and
Well, and
it's
not only
less
that,
expensive.
if an Into the Spider-Verse movie flops, it's not as big of a deal as an MCU movie flopping.
Right.
So they tested the concept of multiple Spider-Men from multiple universes, and they didn't even have the nostalgia factor of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and it worked. Because I will admit, I had no interest in seeing Into the Spider-Verse, and then a lot of people were like, "You have to watch it."
Oh, it was great.
I didn't love it because the animation to me was off-putting, but I get what they were
No,
doing.
yeah, okay.
It just didn't resonate with me. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
I'm with you on that one. I wasn't. It's like,
But
do I
it's
want this or
different.
live action? I'm gonna always
But
want live action.
but hey, it's different, and I applaud them for trying something new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but so for those of you who have seen Morbius, you saw the next, what is it, Across the Spider Verse or something like that. It's a new Miles Morales
Yeah,
animated movie.
basically, Gwen, who knows how, but she has like come from her universe.
Well,
Spider Gwen.
okay, but here's the thing. I think this is a proof of concept because in the first Into the Spider Verse movie, it's a freak accident, kind of like how Doctor Strange has a freak accident. So in this one, they figure out a
You
way
son of
to.
a bitch! You're on to something.
I'm looking at that. I'm like, oh, so I bet you in the next and I bet they're going to set this up in uh, Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange. Is they're going to figure out a way to be able to cross between dimensions at will, probably using the Spider Verse essentially, because they hinted at that in No Way Home. Because when Peter gets knocked out of his body, he's got the spider sense waves, and this goes back to the comics.
Yeah, those make it like to where they all, because remember how they were like,
They're all connected. It's how their spider
I
sense works.
knew Peter was in trouble. Like when Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, they're like, I feel like
Yeah.
he's in trouble, and they just
Yep.
knew.
And they're hinting at all that shit.
They had such a bromance in that movie, and
Oh,
it
hardcore.
was glorious.
But did you also notice that Milo asked for a Daily Bugle at the newspaper stand?
No.
Yep.
Oh
He
shit!
bought a Daily Bugle.
Son of a
And
bitch.
well, keep in mind in the Venomverse, Eddie
Was there
Brock works for the Daily Bugle.
That's right.
So, but it exists across the in multiple universes. But I think they're setting up for another Spider-Man multiverse movie. And if DC would get their heads out of their asses, give us a Batman multiverse movie. Give us Batman Beyond. And like, here's the thing, guys. You don't even have to come up with a new story. Just remake the first 2 episodes of Batman Beyond. You're fine. The first 2 episodes and then the last episode, and you've got a movie.
Imagine a Superman multiverse.
It could be done.
That would blow apart cinematic, like, history. Because everybody loves Superman. I do.
And they
I know everybody's like, oh, I like Batman. I like Superman more. Sorry.
Well, they might be setting that up with Flashpoint Paradox. But
that's true.
I mean, Into the Spider-Verse was proof of concept, and No Way Home has shown that if you do it right, these kinds of movies, like, you get it all. You get a really good story. You get really high stakes because you can bring villains in from other places, so your options are endless. And you can even milk the nostalgia factor by bringing in previous incarnations.
I know you've only seen like a couple episodes of Supernatural, but like they introduced a multiverse And then they ended the show, and I was like, "What are you fucking doing?" I was like,
Oh, that's just mean.
You just gave yourself so much shit that you could fucking film, and now you just cancel. Oh, whatever. Jensen Ackles is gonna play. Did I tell you that he's gonna play? What's that fucking character?
We've discussed this before, but I can't remember.
The Boys. He's gonna be on The Boys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy.
Soldier
really?
Boy up in there. Oh! I think it's Soldier Boy.
Ooh.
But yeah. Anyway, so Morbius was good.
Morbius was really good. Like, I can't really take too much. Like, again, it was kind of basic, but that wasn't a bad thing because this is also an origin story.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you don't want to overcrowd an origin story.
And I don't think they did.
No, not with Morbius.
A lot of people, I noticed in the comments of like trailers and whatnot, they're like, it was rushed. And I was like, it didn't rush this story at all. I was like,
no,
it was a good pace. It wasn't 2 hours and 30 minutes long.
So, and I don't know that this is necessarily a bad thing, but there were a couple scenes where while I enjoyed them because they were funny or visually appealing, I don't know that they were necessary. For example, when Morbius follows those counterfeiting guys to the mall, like from the cafe where he's talking to the female doctor that he's in love with, but for some reason they've never boned before.
I think it was just showing off his. Well, I mean, he's got a blood issue, so therefore he probably never been hard in his life. Just saying.
I mean,
clip it. Just kidding.
So then he comes back with a fucking 6-pack and a chest for days,
dude. What you said, feeling pretty good.
Oh no, because I was quoting the Sam Raimi Spider-Man. He's like, "Oh, I'm fine."
That was good.
I mean, that was one of the jokes. But no, like that scene where he leaves the diner and follows the guys, and then he intercepts the paramedics and takes some of their fake blood. Like, I don't know that it was necessary for the story, but I also wouldn't call it a waste of time.
Are you talking like the fighting scene where he broke the dude's hand?
Yeah, that like, kind of stuff.
Ibuprofen, you should be good in 6 to 8 weeks. But the thing
I think that's good for characterization, not necessarily for plot.
Yes. It was basically just to show off he's not an absolute villain. He was like basically taking these guys down. And actually, no, you're wrong. They did
gave him a chance to walk away too.
You're wrong. They did have to do that. He needed a lab. He took their lab.
Oh, I know. So what I'm saying, like I said, this isn't a bad thing. It's just another way of thinking about it.
Because that was where he said, "I am Venom."
Yeah. What I mean is, if they needed to shave anything down, in the movie, it would have been easy to cut that out and then just cut to some lab that he threw together. While it would have been cheap and lazy, they could have done that to save time. But I don't think the movie was too long.
But why
it wasn't the Batman?
Why are thugs who are counterfeiting $100 bills? How do they have a high-tech lab that had similar equipment that he needed?
In a mall? Because it looked like they were in a mall.
That was a little sus. But
yeah,
like
that's
said, not reading too much into it because there was some things you're just like, what?
Well, let's be real. If you put bat DNA in you, would you get vampire powers?
Morbius is a side character. He's lucky he got a movie.
Well, but here's the thing. So Marvel is doing, and I know this is a Sony Marvel collaboration.
They're gonna make movies.
Well, but they're doing a good job because let's be real. And I'm not hating on the Avengers, but the Avengers movies are great. But I would have never
care for the first one.
Oh, I thought the first one's phenomenal.
The second one. I didn't care for it.
Oh yeah, and I didn't mean either. But I never thought in a million years that Thor would get his own movie. And he's had 3.
And they were all fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I loved Krog. Is that his name? Krog? Crag?
I hated that movie.
Rockman? He was so funny.
I hated it. I thought it was so fucking dumb. But that's just me.
I loved it.
Everybody else loved him. Dude, they made awesome movies.
He sounded like Robin Williams.
A little bit. They made awesome movies with Guardians of the fucking Galaxy.
Oh, fantastic.
well, let's be real though. Who knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before the movies came out? Fucking super nerds. I didn't know who they were.
I didn't either. But
I had
hey,
no fucking idea.
they did it, and they did it well. Kudos, Marvel.
I don't know what their secret weapon is. And like Ant-Man, they made Ant-Man movies that were awesome.
We're gonna need to go back and count how many times I give a thumbs up in this one.
So I'm not surprised that they make a Morbius movie that's solid.
Oh no, yeah, I expected it to be a decent movie because honestly, anything Marvel or even Sony, in my opinion, has put out, it's been a fairly solid movie. Like
I am kind of getting tired of people shitting on Sony because let's remember one thing. Before superhero movies were popular, Sony gave us X-Men and Spider-Man, and they were good. I don't care what you say. The first X-Men and the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man were phenomenal movies, especially since nobody thought they would do shit.
And they did shit. A lot of
They
shit.
did a lot of shit. And then I liked X2 as well.
They did give a horrible rendition of Deadpool, just saying.
We don't talk about that one. They made it right in Deadpool 2.
You know, it's so funny how like that movie is pretty much forgotten, and Deadpool is like fucking a huge phenomenon.
Although I've heard rumors that Deadpool 3 was canceled.
What? That's probably April Fool's.
You know what? Probably. I think that's when I read it, actually.
They also
son of a bitch. That was April Fool's. Never mind.
Yeah, because they did the same thing with Dragon Ball Superhero. They put out a thing saying that it was canceled due to unforeseen reasons or something like that.
Oh, you know what? I saw that.
Yeah, and then it said fanboys think that GT's coming back or something like that. Dude, it was so funny.
We're finally gonna get Super Saiyan 5 Goku.
Oh my gosh! Do you remember back in the day we were like Super Saiyan 12, Super
Dragon
Saiyan
Ball AF.
75?
Well, okay, but let's be real here.
Some of those were
that's
cool.
where the series was going. Because we'd gotten to Super Saiyan 4, and it was way fucking different. So we were like, okay, I guess we're just doing whatever the fuck we want now.
Well, yeah, but... Yeah, I don't know. Like, I didn't care for Super Saiyan 4.
And
I liked it, but it was just... It got beat down too fast.
Yeah, but... and then they introduced Super Saiyan God, which I think... Again, it was kind of an eye roll, but then at the same time, it's like, well, I mean, it kind of makes sense in universe.
Oh, I loved it. It was awesome.
Because it looks phenomenal. But it's like, where else are they going to go? Like, you have to introduce a higher concept like God Key. And,
well, I mean, for one, they introduced a god.
Yeah, a literal
Beerus,
god.
And then they fucking just went on from there. And it's like, I was like, when Goku meets someone stronger, he generally surpasses them. That's just how it's always been.
That was the one, even if you don't like Dragon Ball Super, you have to, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but you have to admit, at least they corrected Goku's characterization.
Yeah, they made him an idiot like he should have been.
Yeah, because they turned him into Superman. The whole truth, justice, and the... Where the fuck did they live?
Mount Pals?
And truth, justice, and the Mount Pals way.
Pretty much.
I mean, he was one step away from being like the Boy Scout Superman. Like this truth and justice shit. In reality, he's like... And DBZ Abridged, again, does it perfectly. He's like, I'm a punch Freezer in the face.
That shit was so funny.
Today is fighting day. Why are you so excited? 'Cause, guys, I finally get to fight Cell. I finally get to punch him. Right in his perfect jaw.
Oh, jeez. Well... Do we have any other things to add to the Morbius review that is gone
I'm trying to think because I don't really have anything to shit on. Like, did I love it? No, but I liked it.
It was a very, very solid film. When I say solid film, it just means it covered all the bases, and it was very enjoyable.
So sometimes what I do when I'm trying to judge a movie,
to the eyeballs.
So here's what I do sometimes, legitimately, and this might ruin some movies for you, but it might make you appreciate other ones. So if you have something like a superhero movie that has an established like franchise already, if you take the superhero element, and so like if we take out the fact that he's Morbius from Marvel Comics and we just make this like a vampire movie, still a good movie.
It was a fucking vampire. It was a vampire movie, pretty much.
But
The
for
horror.
example,
Sorry, go ahead.
well, I actually go ahead because I'm trying to think. I was going to use Thor as an example.
I was just
but
going to
it's
say
like,
that the horror aspect of it was awesome at first, and then it kind of transformed into a different movie. It started out horror, you know.
Yeah.
So like I appreciated the transition because it was a tad, you know, not like scary, but like eerie. And you're like, what the fuck?
okay, so this is a perfect example. So take Wonder Woman for example.
Which
If
one?
you take the first one, well, I'm going to touch on both. If you take the first Wonder Woman and you take out the fact that it's specifically Wonder Woman and just make her like an Amazon,
Mm-hmm.
it's still a good movie. Technically, it's still a good movie. If you change nothing about the story and just the fact that she's not Wonder Woman, because in all reality, in the first Wonder Woman, she's really not even Wonder Woman. She's just Diana, an Amazon.
That music though.
Oh.
What she would do? I was like, yeah, she's about to whoop somebody's ass.
Dude, the Wonder Woman theme is badass. But
it is.
now let's take Wonder Woman 1984.
Gal
If you take
Gadot.
out the fact that Wonder Woman is in that movie, the movie fucking sucks. It makes no sense. It's not cohesive.
I haven't seen it. I was told it's no big loss.
Dude, I will tell you what you should watch though is look up the Critical Drinker on YouTube and watch his Wonder Woman 1984 review.
Oh, I bet it's great.
Oh, it's fucking hilarious.
It's fucking.
And then they pull out this dildo looking thing, which apparently grants wishes. And from that moment on in the review, he refers to it as the dildo stone. But in a thick Scottish accent, he's like, and then they used the dildo stone to.
That's like hands down probably the best DC movie right now. Aquaman was good. I liked it.
See, I thought Aquaman was the shits because if you take Aquaman, if you take out the fact that it's Aquaman,
It was a horrible movie.
Exactly.
I mean,
and now the fact
Jason
that it's
Momoa, he made the
Aquaman.
movie.
Well, Jason Momoa made Aquaman, which I never thought they'd be able to do. I never thought they'd be able to make Aquaman cool.
They did
Because
it.
Aquaman sucks.
It's because they made Aquaman Jason Momoa, and Jason Momoa's cool, so therefore Aquaman became cool.
100%. And I might be. I don't think jealous is the right word, but somewhat resentful. Is the fact that Jason Momoa is actually just a giant fucking dork.
I know,
but he's cool as shit.
Henry Cavill as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, he's an avid gamer.
I think Jason Momoa is cooler than Henry Cavill, but
Henry Cavill. Is it Cavill or Cavill?
I thought it was Cavill.
I don't know. I like saying Cavill.
It's just Cavill. Yes, it's Henry Cavill.
I don't have.
If you watch the Tudors, you can watch him fuck people. Actually, no. Does he?
Henry Cavill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I don't know if he does.
The man from Red, or the man from something. Have you seen that movie with Cavill?
Mm-mm.
It's the man from something. The man from.
Oh, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
It was a great movie. And then even when he played in the new Mission Impossible with the mustache, remember, because that was the mustache that fucked up the fucking animation. Well, they fucked up the Superman thing, and I'm like,
yeah,
dog, like Superman versus Mission Impossible. I'm like, you're Superman. You're not a fucking main person. He was contractually obligated.
He was already under contract. Well, but that was for reshoots, though.
Yeah, I know. They fixed it in the Snyder cut, but
the Snyder cut had a lot of original footage. That's that. Yeah, they shit the bed. Which the Critical Drinkers review of Justice League is also really, really funny.
I like the Snyder cut, but it was entirely too fucking long.
Way too long. And we went over it. So if you want, you can go watch our review of the Snyder cut, which is where we do a good job reviewing the movie. We review the good and bad, and I'm actually pleased to announce, I don't know when the first episode is going to air, but on my channel, I figured out a new series I'm going to do. I'm going to take movies or TV shows and maybe even video games if I get back into them. It's a show. It's a series that I'm going to start called The Good, the Bad, and the Nerdy.
Listen, if you're going to do reviews of games and you're going to play them, I'm down.
Maybe. I know I'm going to probably start with movies because there's a couple movies I already want to do. So basically, I'm going to go over what's good, what's bad, and then the nerdy shit that...
We should do a series where we get old game systems and do that. I mean, it's a different from what you're talking about, but like...
But no, I'm down.
And we'll do it on your channel.
So we just play really old, obscure games
and just make fun of them.
Love it. It's like Mystery Science Theater, but for video games.
Yes. And the thing is, I mean, once money starts flowing, I'm going to be able to afford to get these older generation systems, and we can literally find actual cartridges and stuff like that. Not like the regular Nintendo that you have, which I have as well, with the 800 games, and it's got like Ninja Mario that makes no sense.
A lot of those games are awful. Well, but a lot of those games are original games. They just came from Japan. They never got released here.
Yep, and a lot of them were bootlegged.
Yeah.
Japan.
For this Super. Speaking of which, dude, we should definitely play some Contra.
Fuck yes, that's the greatest.
Oh, dude, I don't know what happened. I got a lot better.
Regular Nintendo.
I got a lot better at that game with age, but Ninja Gaiden, I suffered.
Dude, Ninja Gaiden, I had to cheat to beat the last level. Just saying.
It's fucking hard, man. I can't even get it past the... I can get past the first level. That's a lie. I forgot how to do everything is the problem.
Well, it was like down and like A or down or in B, like how you threw the ninja stars if you had those. But other than that...
Is it down and... Okay, that's how you do it. Because I could not remember for the life of me.
It was either down or forward. I don't think it was forward. Forward would make more sense if you think about it, because you're running towards people.
Oh, you know what? It might be forward. I don't know. I can't remember. All I know is that the first boss guy just walked the floor with me.
The music, though, in Ninja Gaiden, loved it.
Yeah, and then there's Battletoads.
Oh my gosh, Super Nintendo or Sega Genesis version of Battletoads, phenomenal. Like they had Battletoads on Nintendo, but I don't. It was good too, but not as good as those.
Now we have a lot of episodes to cover because I still want to watch Vladimir Zelensky's series.
Oh yeah,
and talk about it.
All right. I'll watch.
We should do that.
We'll set a time frame.
Let's try to get Sosa for next time.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll do the Zelensky one after that. Keep it in our back pocket, but I'd say let's go ahead and watch it.
Well, the thing about Sosa with at least Dragon Ball Super, he is definitely way caught up on the manga, and I don't know about you, I'm not, and I'm not. I refuse because I want to wait for the anime.
Want to wait? So this is as far along as I am on Dragon Ball Super.
I've watched a couple tidbits. I know who Gas is. I know who several other characters are. I know who Granola is.
I'm on volume 2.
Hey, you actually have the book though.
1 and 2, yeah.
That's right. Is that Shonen?
No, these are just. Oh, I mean, yes, but these are just the volumes.
Oh, okay.
That you go and buy in the store.
Black and white, baby.
Black and white, baby, to save on printing costs.
Well, let's wrap this up before I start yawning our faces off.
Go home.
I am home.
Watch Morbius, for real.
Yeah, honestly, great flick. Like very solid film. I'd give it 3.9 out of 5.
It's kind of like 7. It's kind of like the 7 of Marvel movies. Like it's really good. It's really good on its own.
You said that about Batman.
No, I said Batman was trying to be 7.
Oh.
7 is way better than the Batman.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think your skewed perception on Batman. When it comes on HBO Max, April 22nd, you got to watch it again.
I'm not gonna lie, it's probably because of Robert Pattinson.
You got to get over it because the whole Twilight thing. He played a lot of good actors, apparently.
Dude,
I've never seen anything else he was in.
It's not just the Twilight thing. The only movie I liked him in is in The King, and that's because my hatred of the French outweighs my hatred of Robert Pattinson, and he does an obnoxiously hilarious French accent, and he gets killed in that movie.
Well, I mean, you got
So
your way.
it's a twofer for me. So I get to watch French nobility get murdered, and it's Robert Pattinson. So it's like it's a twofer.
You fucking, I'm telling you, dude. Just quit that it's Robert Pattinson and just think of Nirvana.
Matt, you should watch The King for this line of dialogue only. I must say, you have big balls for coming here. giant balls and a tiny cock.
Tiny balls
and a tiny cock.
Oh, no, we got another verse. Robert Pattinson's Batman. He is emo. All right.
Pattinson. So, before we leave, I will say I was legitimately going to check out some of the movies that the commenter recommended. Then I read the synopsis for The Lighthouse, and I said, fuck this shit, because apparently there's a scene where he's jerking off to a scrimshaw of a mermaid. I don't want to watch Robert Pattinson masturbate. I'm sorry. I don't want to watch that shit.
I mean, just be like this.
Because he has the big balls and the tiny cock.
What was that from?
That's from The King. That's a line Robert Pattinson says in the movie.
I swear I just watched a movie or a show, and it literally said that. And I was like, okay, now it's a ripoff.
No, it's good. It's good. I will say though, his suit of armor in the King, while wholly impractical, is pretty cool. He's got like this emerald green armor, but that would essentially be like walking onto the battlefield and screaming, "Kill me!"
You're gonna have to fucking kill me.
Well, no, like let's be real. If you're the Dauphin of France, which is the king's son,
The Dauphin,
and you've already been seen in green armor, and you're the only motherfucker wearing green armor, and you walk on the battlefield, you might as well just say, "Murder me now."
the bat field.
The Batfield. And then, not least of which, the fact that the Dauphin wasn't even at the Battle of Agincourt. Certainly didn't die there. In fact, I think he died 8 years later.
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh, you should. It's pretty good.
The King?
The King.
All right.
All right.
Bloody brilliant.
Let's go to sleep.
Ouch.
It is a miracle we didn't get kicked out of Dick's that night. I thought he was coming. I thought he was coming to kick us out. Listen, don't leave punching bags out if you don't want people to play with them.
Just saying. And Bob was up there. He was like,
if Bob were lower, if Bob was lower, Bob would have gotten his ass whooped.
I wanted to fuck up Bob.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Go see Morbius. Don't see the Batman. Stop contributing to Robert Pattinson's wallet. It's over. It's done. We had our fun. Just stop.
Something in the way.
Bring back Batfleck.
I would be cool with another Batfleck movie.
I've read that they're going to. Well, and see, here's the thing: they've introduced the concept of multiverse.
He said he didn't want one, and then all of a sudden, like, and I was like, "Bitch, that's called reverse psychology, and we're not stupid." I don't like Ben Affleck as a person. I'm just saying.
Hollywood falls for it all the time.
Yeah.
And Tom Holland's like, "Oh, I want to start a family. We'll give you $20 million per movie." Hey, Zen, we're gonna have to stay on the pill a little while longer. You should just cut it right there.
How funny would that be?
That would have been great. You think we could convince people that the stream is frozen?
I think they noticed the whole one viewer we've had the entire time.
No, not with this background.
Yeah, I know, because if you
Keeps-
slightly move, it's like gives it away.
Excuse you.
You want to know how to really do it?
How?
Just get out of the frame.
Oh. Was there anything else noteworthy?
I liked his hair. He looked like a freaking like a rocker. Oh wait, Jared Leto, first Lord.
Oh, there's Sosa.
Sosa, we were just talking about you. We'll be in touch.
I didn't know you could retract messages.
Can you?
Apparently, because Sosa just did so.
Actually, he did a review on it too, and he said the critics were too harsh as well.
Oh, 100% they were too harsh, and I think they were too lenient with the Batman.
Dude, the Batman is getting bad reviews. What are you talking about?
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I'm like the only critic that says it was good.
No. Well, some of them know what they're talking about.
Just me.
Maybe they got confused. Maybe they thought the Batman was Morbius.
See, the thing is, look, the Batman really wasn't that good a film, but Nirvana was good in the. I'm telling you, dude, that song set the entire movie for me, and it made me enjoy the movie.
The score was really good.
Oh, the score was fantastic.
Even that.
The two sound.
Hey, it's right. Like I said, it was right up there with. Bum,
Batman.
Bum bum bum. Yeah, Batman. Batman. Pattinson.
Oh my gosh, Pattinson.
Anywho, let's get off here before we start really sounding like crazy people. And we're out.
Son of a
Remember, everyone, until next time, ape alone, weak. Apes together, strong. Yeah.
That's good enough for an outro, or do you want to do a proper one?
No, that's fine.
All right.
Everybody knows where our shit is. It's all down below. Just
down below, clicky clicky. Bye.
Clicky clicky, likey, sharey, subscribe.